Welcome back for today's NFL pick video play for September 16th, 2018. If you're interested in getting all of our NFL picks for today's action, you can get those over at stumpthespread.com, which is linked down in the video description. So heading into this one, talking about this matchup here between the Cleveland Browns and the New Orleans Saints, and actually give you a couple plays here, both against the spread and in terms of that over-under number. Now, Cleveland coming up just short in week one. They had their chances to pick up that upset win at home against the Pittsburgh Steelers, but still getting a tie is a step in the right direction for this Cleveland team after not winning a single game last year. All 16 of their contests last year being defeats. It's at least a better sign, especially with the way they were able to close things out, scoring 14 points in the fourth quarter compared to Pittsburgh's 0 points. And then in overtime, of course, both teams coming up short of putting any points on the board. But still, the Browns had some positives to take out of that matchup, and a team that definitely has a lot more talent than what they had in 2017 and should be a much more consistent factor on a week-to-week basis. Now, Pittsburgh, of course, as well in 2017, they were pretty much the exact opposite of Cleveland within the AFC. They were one of the top teams, and the fact that the Browns were able to stay competitive with them is also a really good sign for them. There was some good things for the Browns to take out of that, but also not so great signs. In terms of their defense, they gave up 335 yards through the air and 159 yards on the ground, so almost 500 yards of total offense, which in general isn't going to get the job done on a weekly basis, but they were able to force a lot of turnovers. They picked up 3 interceptions, which allowed them to have a bit of success in flipping things and holding off a lot of Pittsburgh drives. And then on the other side of things, Tyrod Taylor had his issues in terms of completion percentage. He went on to complete just 15 of 40 passes for 197 yards, 1 touchdown to 1 interception. I really like what I saw, however, from the Browns. In terms of their ground game, they picked up 177 yards on 38 carries, with Taylor leading the way, 77 yards, and having that dual threat ability out of the quarterback position can be a big game changer like we saw from the Browns last week. So today they're taking on the New Orleans Saints, who were one of the bigger disappointments in week one. New Orleans coming into that matchup against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as rather significant favorites, of course playing at home where the Saints enjoy a tremendous home field advantage, but defensively they had some major issues against the Bucs, who had to go to their backup quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick. And the Saints, they gave up 417 yards through the air as well as 112 yards on the ground. So over 500 yards of total offense, what their defense gave up. But on the flip side, the Saints also were able to have success of their own offensively, with Drew Brees throwing for 439 yards and 3 touchdowns. But the ground game only picking up 43 yards and only carrying the ball 13 times. So definitely New Orleans having to go to the pass game more often to try to keep pace with the Buccaneers. They had 45 pass attempts compared to only 13 rushing attempts. So in terms of what these two squads did last week defensively, not great signs. And then on the flip side, offensively, New Orleans certainly showing very well through the air, not so much on the ground, while Cleveland brought a bit more of a balanced attack. So coming into this one, the plays that we like here in terms of that over-under, given the struggles of these two respective defenses in terms of limiting the yardage last week, we feel like the over is going to be the better value play with that total sitting at 49.5 points. And then in terms of the spread number, Cleveland getting 9.5 points. The points have a little less value in what's likely to probably be a little bit higher scoring of a contest, but still Cleveland, I think that even tying last week is a positive for this group to build around. I think they come in here with a good mindset to try to upset New Orleans, who is coming off of an upset defeat at home in week one. So we also like the road team, the Cleveland Browns, getting those 9.5 points as the better value play. If you agree, give the video a thumbs up. Disagree, give it a thumbs down. Check out all of our NFL picks for today's action over at stumpthespread.com. Linked down in the video description. Subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we hope to see you guys back here for tomorrow's video.